What's up guys, it's Aaron from Gear Up and welcome to another episode, and boy am I glad to see you today because this time we're going to be talking about this guy right here, the Fossil Hybrid HR, a unique smartwatch in its really saturated landscape. If you're looking for a smartwatch that looks really good, like a diver's watch and really thin, has 2 weeks of battery life and has an e-ink display rather than the usual OLED or LCD displays, this might be the smartwatch for you. But it's not for me, and I'll tell you why in a second after this. Let's take a closer look at the Fossil Hybrid HR. For $195, you get a watch that looks really good and expensive, almost like a diver's watch. This thing is made of stainless steel. Here is polished and there's also matte surfaces. It's only 13 millimeters thick, nice and thin, 44 millimeters across. And it really looks good. The only knock I would have is the bezel itself. It seems like it's a different part of the supply chain. The matte on this looks very different from this. It almost feels like an afterthought, but it still looks good for this price. The silicone strap is nice, soft and supple, although it is a dust and lint magnet. But a good thing is your watch is a 3 ATM washable, bathable, swimmable device, so you can wash the strap easily or just pop it off right here or switch out a new one. So that's the cool thing. On the underside here you have the heart rate sensors, and it sits pretty flat on your wrist and it doesn't create a huge indentation. Although I wonder why there's 3 separate pieces if you notice. One here, and another layer right here on top where the glass is for the sensor. So there's 3 surfaces touching your wrist. Although it doesn't cause irritation, but that's something of note. I'm not sure why is that. But it looks really good, doesn't it? And it charges with a magnetic dock, which is really easy to use. Fossil is always good at doing that, and so this is no different. Besides the look, the screen is the other talking piece of this watch. It is e-ink similar to your Kindle and is low battery draw, and is, as you can see in this bright studio lights, it is highly visible. You can still see it really well. And here I can activate the backlight to it. If you hold down the crown, which is one of the navigation buttons, it moves the hands to the 3 and 9 o'clock position so you can read the screens up and down. Now, by the way, the backlighting stays on as long as you constantly navigate with it. So that's one good thing, because it doesn't turn on automatically based on the time or sunset or sunrise. So I wish that was that. There are 3 navigation buttons, the main crown and 2 of these up here, secondary. They're all customizable, reassignable through the app. But by default, you have these to function that you can scroll through up and down. There are only 5 different kinds of workouts that's available, which is really bare bones. I wish there was more. You can control your music, things like that. If you hold down the button again, you can go back here. If you hold this, you can go to, at least this is what I have for fitness. If I go back, hold back down, and then you have weather in this case. Some of the other important stats is Bluetooth 5.0 for low battery consumption. It also has full notification. This is a recent update where in the past there was very bare bones minimum notifications. Now you can get notifications from any app in your phone. And when you do get notification, the hands sweep from 3 to 9 o'clock again, so you can read the screen above and below. And it only stays for 10 seconds before it goes back into its regular time. It also has no media storage, by the way. It has heart rate tracking. It has sleep tracking, unlike some other kind of more expensive watches that don't even have that built in. It has activity tracking, 5 different sports, as I mentioned earlier. It has 2 weeks battery life. That's the beauty of having e-ink. It has a backlight that you can double tap the screen to activate, but the screen, as I mentioned earlier, it is not a touch screen at all. It also, one big thing, it doesn't have GPS or GPS sharing with your mobile phone, so just something you'll be aware of. Intermission time. Guys, if you like more of these tech reviews and content, remember to click subscribe down below and the bell notification to get notified. This really helps me grow this channel and bring you more stuff to watch. Back to the program. With that out of the way, let's talk about the positives, and I think the number 1 driving factor behind why you would choose this watch and why I would choose this watch is in the looks department. Fossil really nailed it. If you look at the one that I got, the stainless steel is really amazing. The silicone strap is high quality. The metal has satin and matte finishes, and it just looks so expensive combined with how thin it is. It looks like a diver's watch, like something what Omega would make. And Fossil gives you the option of buying other frames and other strap designs and colors as well, but they all really look good. So in the styling department, this rocks. My next favorite thing about using this watch is, get this, the app experience. Yeah, I know, right? When in recent memory has a third-party app been awesome, but Fossil did it. It's like a miracle. It's like a needle in a haystack. It's like a dime in a dozen. It's like, I can't think of any more analogies. But anyway, Fossil did really something really good. The app is clean, it's intuitive, everything is where they need to be, all the functions are there. And I think it makes sense because everything in the watch, all the settings, or most of it, and anyway, has to be set up in the app. So it makes sense that Fossil had to build it really clean and nice. So thumbs up to that. I really appreciate the app. I can't get over it. It's really good. There's one minor feature in the hybrid HR that really stood out to me is when you have activity running or activity tracking running in the background. In some other watches or most other watches, you can't back out into another screen or at the risk of shutting down your activity track. In this watch, you can go to other screens, work in them, and come back to it. I mean, granted, this thing is not a high-powered device at all, but the fact is that you can back out of your tracking and look at the time, look at the weather, things like that, check out your notifications. That's super awesome. Constipated faces on? That can only mean one thing. It's time for the negatives. So my biggest issue with the screen is the lack of real estate. It is fighting so hard. The e-ink display, well, I mean, it is so good outdoors and the low battery usage is just amazing. It's fighting with the analog display so much. It's such a tiny little circle right there, especially when you're reading notifications and your activity summary. I can't barely see anything. And I think the big difference also is my stainless steel version. The contrast is so great with the dark black screen as well as the bling all over it. So I think if you got a different color like I was looking the black silicone and the black stainless, they're black on black on black almost, and the dials are lighter color. The dials as in the hour and the minute hands are a little bit lighter. So I think it reads to better legibility overall. But in my case, the bling shine, especially in bright sunlight, it just creates glare in my eyes that takes away from the punch or the intensity of the e-ink display. So that's what I don't like about the screen. Too small, lack of contrast. Now let's talk about the watch glass. You can rest easy, it is scratch resistant, but I have this strange suspicion that Fossil used a really low quality glass. Much lower quality than the stuff I even see at night markets, knockoff Casios and all that, or even things cheaper than this watch. When I reflect this in the light and just tilt it at a certain angle, the reflection just feels dull or something like that. That lends it a really cheap feel. I've seen glass that looks like crystal, and this does not blend really well with the diver's watch look and the rest of the body. The rest of the body looks great, as you know, but the glass just doesn't stand up to it. So that's my problem with it. And another reason why I have that impression is its hydrophobic qualities. When you put it under the water does not bead off like it's a sheet, just like willingly. It just sticks to it like it has gunk on it. I've cleaned it a few times to make sure that there's no film. I even made sure that I peeled off the protective film to make sure that it's not there. But this thing still sticks. The water sticks to it like glue. I'm not sure what it is, and it just lends to a cheap feel. Do you remember how you used to be able to set your alarm on your watch? Well, in the hybrid HR you can't. You have to do it through the app. That's just ridiculous. Okay, help me understand this, guys. In this modern day and age, an activity tracker like even this watch does not possess a GPS or GPS pairing at the very least. Why? On the name of battery saving? But when I track my run, for example, all I do know is my steps, my heart rate, calories burned. But I cannot track distance or barometer, altitude, and things like that. What's the deal, man? That's not gonna work. So thumbs down to that too. Now, my biggest beef with this watch is the competition itself. What is Fossil thinking charging almost $200 where watches like the Amazfit Verge and Stratus, the Samsung Galaxy Activewear Generation 1 exist, the TicWatch Pro. All these guys charge around the same price, have better screens, arguably don't necessarily have better cases or frames or straps, but they just have as much function, just have as much battery life, and they don't have an e-ink display or things like that. So I'm not sure what Fossil is thinking. If they charge it a little bit less, it's more stomachable. Is that a word? Appetitable. But I can't stomach it because I just don't get the price. It is too high for what it is. You're just buying this for the looks? Sure. But if you're buying this as a whole package, I can't recommend it for the life of me. So I guess there you have it. I don't recommend this watch. So let's move on to the ending here. Sorry, Fossil. Better luck next time. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I can't wait for you to come back again. I'll be taking a couple of weeks off, by the way, because my parents are coming into town from Malaysia, and they'll be staying with us for 3 months. But anyways, I can't wait to see you guys. In the meantime too, remember to click subscribe down below and the bell notification. It really helps me bring you more of these kind of contents to watch if you like this kind of stuff. And remember to thumbs up if you like this video. Yes. Thumbs up and comment down below. And thumbs down. Thumbs down. What's with the saying, I have a beef with you? Where did that come from anyway? Are you just gonna have steak with me sometime over dinner? If you're upset, I invite you over for steak to reconcile. Is that what they mean by that? Comment down below. I'm not sure what that means. Where that expression comes from. I have a beef with you, fella. Why couldn't it be I have a fish with you? Or poetry? Or I have a vegan with you. You know, to be politically correct. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. I really love you all. Remember to have a good week and stay safe and help someone again. Help someone who needs. There's so many homeless and the poor people out there by the streets or in the communities around you. See them, help them, please. Anyways, love you guys. Until next time.